So then folks, we're here, Shrewsbury Valley Lakes again. We've just been doing a magazine feature and a bit of filming. So Smokey and myself thought of getting in the calf while it's chucking it down, talk to you guys about what's been happening. We've had a good day, haven't we?
Absolutely brilliant. I came here, well, we both came here last Friday, didn't we?
Yeah.
And it went way better than I imagined. Ended up catching shallow.
Yeah.
We put some footage on Facebook. 1st of March, shallow.
Brilliant.
Today they haven't come shallow, but the fishing has been excellent.
Really good. Put in some pellets, pop some pellets in, sit there, 2 minutes later, float dibs, £8 carp.
And it's like 8 foot deep. The big fish, aren't they?
Yeah, brilliant.
It's just really nice fishing.
But it's hammering it down now, so I don't really want to sit outside.
No, we thought it was time for a pint, didn't we?
Yeah, nice pints today.
Pints today, yeah. No coke this week.
No. I think it's important to mention, we've had loads of good comments.
Yeah, thank you everyone for commenting about last week's video.
Really good comments, and I think we need more comments, and we want to hear people's opinions as well.
We want some interaction, don't we?
We want a bit of interaction, and we'll start giving people a call maybe. If they've got something interesting to say, we'll look at their comments. If they've got anything interesting to say, might give them a call.
We want to ring you up.
Maybe during the actual show.
Yeah. Listen
to you, bit of a to and fro.
I mean, we had a big one last week, didn't we? David Boo.
Yeah.
He was chatting about the England team. We asked him to come on, but he hasn't come on.
Yeah.
So he hasn't replied.
I don't know.
Which is a shame because he made some really good points.
He made some really good points. Now he's either not seen the comment.
Yeah, which is possible.
Or he's bottled it.
He's bottled it.
So
I hope he hasn't bottled it.
No. We'll get.
We'd like to get him on.
We want to get people
on
everyone who have got an opinion. So I think that's really important.
So yeah, we want to we want to get you all involved. So
first things first, talk about your Winter League final. Last week now.
Yeah.
Decoy Lakes and on the drains.
Yeah.
Really big team event, probably the biggest team event.
Yeah.
You know.
I think it's 30 teams.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic event. Well run by the Angling Trust, but for us it was a bit disappointing. We ended up 6th place.
This is Barnsley.
Barnsley Blacks, yeah. Drennan Barnsley Blacks. We ended up 6th place with I think 65 points, and it was really close. I think 2nd place had something like 57, just to give you an idea of how close it was. Runaway winners were Drennan Borden, who I think they had 12 points on the drains, which even though they had a bit of a harder day at Decoy, the drains performance was stunning. But yeah, it was a real tough day for me on a personal level. I drew you where I was the other week, I caught £90.
Yeah.
I was on peg 9.
What peg were you for?
18.
Right.
So where I'm sitting here, 18's like down there, and that is where the bulk of the fish were, even on the final day.
Okay.
I had Terry Malloy to my left. We had a great laugh from Borden to my left. He was on peg 10, and I beat him by about 100 grams. Cheers, Terry. Beat him by about 100 grams, 16 kilo odd, but that was it. Me and him, I think I beat 5 and he beat 4.
Right. What won the league?
62 kilos.
And where was that from?
Peg 12.
Was it?
Which is bang opposite the peg 20 that I told you about last week.
Okay.
So that little area is where the fish were, and it was just a frustrating day because you could catch an odd fish early and then they just backed off and went back to where they were.
So I suppose obviously, it was really mild, but
really
the water temperatures are still cold, aren't they? The fish are still shouldered up. Where the fish were, when I looked at the results, it looked like you could actually...
They were opposite each other.
Yeah.
Like that
you
day.
could actually catch them, couldn't you?
When
you were on them, you could actually catch them. It wasn't a case of just winter fishing, you still couldn't catch them.
No, take Andy Power's peg, for example. Peg 6 on Lewes, which is a great peg.
Yeah.
Big corner peg. He's actually caught them on a little mugging waggler, like summer.
Like it's August.
Mugging them with a little wafter on and that, and he couldn't believe it. He didn't have the kit to do it.
Right.
He had to root for his box and find something. But it just showed you, and I went to have a look at his peg at the end. I put a little video clip of his peg on, and all the carp churning the edge up like it was summer. Yeah, it was unbelievable. But our lake, it was really cold. Where we were sat, it was still really cold, and yet on the other bank, they're all sat in t-shirts.
Right,
so whether that played into it, I don't know. But
it's got to be, because obviously what it's like in the spring. The fish, the carp, the sun worshippers aren't there. I mean, you get a peg in the shade, it's not as good as one in the sun. So it's got to make
one thing that did happen, which was absolutely brilliant, the lake behind me, Oak.
Yeah.
I've heard a bit of commotion, and I've looked around, and the chap right behind me, rig is attached to Dean Smith's on the other bank. So they're both holding the pole, and their rigs are perfectly joined in the middle above water. And they're both having this little tug of war.
One of them's hooked to fish?
One of them's hooked to fish, and it's gone over to him, because they do tear off in there, and they're only narrow lakes, and it's obviously got wrapped around Dean's rig.
No.
The fish has come off, and they've just been left intertwined and interlinked in the thing. I've got a video of it, because I had to stop.
Narrow the lakes
I had to stop. I was fishing the bomb at the time. I had to stop and turn around and film it. It was brilliant.
Right.
But yeah, that just shows you how narrow the lakes are.
Brilliant. So Borden won it. Barnsley...
6th, sorry.
6th.
So we still won 600 quid, I think.
I know, but obviously Barnsley...
Yeah,
we had a brilliant team, though.
Yeah, we go to win. But like Andrew Geldart, God,
Yeah.
God bless him. He had 3 kilos at decoy, which
Yeah, I know.
He's won that match before.
Yeah. Well, his peg obviously was absolutely garbage, wasn't it?
Garbage, yeah. We both. He rang me before the start and he says, "Look, I need to get off to a rapid start. Make the most of my peg before the fish back off."
Yeah.
He rang me after 3 hours. He hadn't had an indication.
Right.
So that tells you what you need to know.
So it's planning. It didn't go to plan.
But no, it was a good day, and it's great to be involved in matches like that.
Yeah, very good. I went to Larford last week. My last chance to qualify for the Goldenrod final. Drew on Match Lakes, peg 52. I thought actually I'd stick a real good chance here.
Yeah, probably a little bit high to be fair.
Yeah, well, actually on the day there was plenty of fish in areas around the lake, and I tell you what, to my right he ended up beating me.
Oh, did
he had a couple of big fish late and beating me. Fished the match that I probably should have fished really. But it was close between quite a few people. Simon Fry qualified off Match Lake.
He's on peg 28, was it?
Yeah, 28 or 26, I'm not too sure. It was one off the end.
Yeah.
He had £99.
I've done well to beat the end then.
Yeah, chucking up to his island and a few fish late on, I think, in the edge. But I tell you what, the last hour really caught me out. I just couldn't believe how many fish were feeding. And obviously we've had some mild weather, but I just couldn't believe. I fed a little bit of bait in my margin, just a couple of feederfuls of bait in my margin. And before I'm reeling that bait in, I looked next to my keep net, and there's 2 carp there with the tails sticking out of there. Not fed any bait there, but obviously a little bit of bait dropped in or whatever. It's only 10 inch deep. There's 2 £8 carp waving the tail in there. I thought, this is amazing. As I'm looking down at those fish, I thought, do I fish for them? And then I have a look where I've just fed the bait.
And they're there.
It's probably about 10 fish, all just waving at me with their tails. Unbelievable. And what I've ended up doing is obviously fishing for those fish and just disappearing at my own arse. And I've just absolutely got it wrong in the last hour.
It's easy to do.
Should have fished in slightly deeper water where I couldn't see the fish, but
and been more patient.
Been more patient. But obviously, I caught 3 fish in the last hour for probably £25. I ended up with
they are the fish you need to catch.
Yeah, I ended up with £73 because I caught fish during the day as well. I ended up with £73, £99 won my zone, and I had 3 fish in the last hour. I just didn't work that margin line out fast enough. Whereas the guys that fished in slightly deeper water took it a little bit steadier. They ended up catching probably 6 or 7 fish in the last hour. Yeah. But it was just unbelievable the fishing was. I know obviously Larford is a bit of a margin dominated lake on the Match Lake, but for February,
it's funny,
March.
isn't it? Because obviously we were here last Friday.
Yeah.
And I've caught shallow and I've caught chucking feeder into shallow water across. So obviously there's something. The water's warmed up just enough, hasn't it?
Yeah.
After that warm week. And the fish are having a bit of a chill.
Yeah, no, brilliant. Talk to me, what did you chuck? Because I think this is important. What did you... You've been chucking a little tiny sort of method style.
Yeah, I'll just show you. I brought one. Been using these little ICM beauties.
Right.
The Preston ones. And
this is what you chucked last week when you were up here as well, isn't it?
Yeah, my mate Macca qualified for the Goldenrod final at Decoy on this. So it's just a perfect little, get the handy little thing. It's just a perfect little winter feeder, isn't it? You can just thumb a bit of bait in there, or use the mould.
Right.
And it's just ideal.
I've seen you using ground bait with that one last week. Now,
ground bait.
I like these.
Hybrid,
I like these little hybrids. I think it's just the right shape, especially if you're fishing on flat bottom. I think it's just the right shape, and I like the fact that the edges can seal the bait, and I can put less in. At the weekend, I was fishing Larford, and I wasn't even half filling it because there's. I don't know if anyone's been to the Match Lake on Larford. There's a lot of little F1s, and you can catch them sort of early on in the session, one a chuck, so they're worth catching. And I was just sort of half filling that feeder. I think you can do that with these little hybrid style feeders.
Yeah.
It's just interesting to see the size. They're both very, very similar size, aren't they? When you look at them, when they're filled up.
Probably holds that Preston one probably holds a little bit less bait, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's a similar size, that is. And it's about the right size for this time of year.
I'll tell you what I really like, and I think this is massive in winter, is the noise factor. And because they're only 16 gram, they're just going with such a lovely little plop, and because it's so dense as well, I just think it makes, and I think that's massive.
Smallest feeder possible. I'm always trying to use the smallest feeder possible, and that just it might mean you have to use a lighter main line.
Yeah.
But
you can get away with it this time.
Yeah, of course you can. I'm using sort of like, I'll be going Barcelona at the weekend.
Yeah.
I'll be using a £4 main line, which you think you could be fishing for double figure, even £20 fish, £4 main line, with a shot leader though, obviously for casting. But it just means you can use a light feeder, and I think that's really important.
Because even though the fish are feeding at the moment, And we've seen it here today because this morning the fishing was quite tough, and it was obvious the fish had backed off. And I'm convinced if I'd have just chucked one of them up to where I'd seen the fish, you'd get bites. And the same can be said at Barston. If it's calm enough, you see bubbles, you can chuck to them, you catch
bubbles,
carp. Larford's a matchlight's a classic example.
Yeah,
of
you
that.
see,
you can see where the fish are.
If it's calm, you'll see little pinprick bubbles.
And it's all about getting in
and
there.
And obviously, when there's a bit of wind, you might see the other one porpoise out. They're not very good at playing hide and seek, aren't they?
You can't. You've got to use your watercraft in the winter, haven't you? And even now they're starting to have a bit of a feed, even more so because they're a bit more active. You can find them.
Yeah.
And now they want a little bit of bait. These, your little hybrid, that little ICM feed that I use, even a little pellet feeder, a little homemade jobby, or one of them, it's ideal, isn't it?
I think also with those little tiny feeders. I mean, I know there's a trend and some fishery rules you have to fish 4 inch, but I think
as short
as you can get with your hook length. 2.5 inch, 3 inch, little tiny hook length. So basically, that fish sucks up that little pile of bait. He's got hardly any movement, and bang, you've got him straight away.
Because you've not got a lot of weight to prick the fish neither, have you?
No, you haven't. No, you need to feel it. You need them to feel it really quick.
Talk to me about your up bait then, because I've got a massive thing about expander pellets.
Yeah, I love using expander pellets.
Yeah, so we're both on the expander pellet train.
For big fish, I just think it's a little bit
negative.
So that's when I'd use sort of like a little mini boilie or some sort of wafter, something like that.
But I guess what I'm trying to say is, everyone's wafter mad, aren't they?
Yeah.
And with good reason, they catch a lot of fish, but don't just put all your eggs in that basket.
No, I've caught.
Try a bit of meat.
Yeah, I've caught
grain of corn.
Thousands of fish on a cube of meat on a method feeder.
6 mm pellets.
Double maggot, single maggot. There's all them different things.
I think we're forgetting about it a lot because I was watching everyone at Decoy the other week, and everyone to a man's got a little 6 mm dumbbell wafter on, various colours,
right?
And with a little hybrid on because that's all anybody uses now. And they just chuck it out and not catching anything, and I'm just thinking nobody's giving this any thought now.
No.
Everyone's just that is what I've got to use.
Yeah.
Whereas I fish expanders a lot. I'm not saying it's dead right, but
no. Especially maybe not in the warmer months. I don't think
now
it's
you're
right.
just trying to get a bite, aren't you?
But you just want to get a bite, and let's get it right. If I was to go use Boston again as an example, if I was to go Boston at the weekend and it goes around every single chalk with the skimmer on
you're in the final.
You qualify for the final, don't you?
Yeah.
Because the fish in there, every fish is of a reasonable size. The last thing you want to do is chuck out and you tip doing that and you bring back a little roach. But then I think you've got to look at what you're putting around your feeder and what you're doing with your feeder if you're getting those sort of problems.
Again, though, it's all down to confidence, isn't it? Because like Steve Ringer chucks that out with a wafter on and gets towed in.
Yeah, of course he does. Yeah, he does. Yeah.
What you're confident in.
Yeah.
So what we got coming up then, Rob?
I've got Big One Show.
I'm at Big One Show.
Big One Show. If anyone sees us at the Big One Show in Farnborough, come and say hello.
Please come say hello.
And then, like I said before, Iberian Masters. Really looking forward to it. I'm taking my old man. His first fishing trip outside of the Midlands.
I love it. Is he fishing the match?
Yeah, he's fishing the match.
Oh, brilliant.
I want to take him Ireland, but I felt that Ireland was going to be too difficult for him.
Yeah.
Without your practice, it's sort of like 5 days of intense. Get up in the morning, eat a big fry up,
have some Guinness at night,
walk to your peg, wade out to your peg, maybe in the rain, drink at night, steak at night, bed, a
little bit too much.
It's just a bit too much to do that for a week. So Iberian Masters, you fish for 3 or 4 days. The actual match day is 3 days. You park behind your peg,
and it's carp fishing.
It's carp fishing, and it's not exhausting carp fishing. You chuck it out and you get probably towed around.
Is that similar to what you were doing the other week with corn and stuff like that?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you will probably be using corn and hemp and maybe sticky maggots, something like that.
Local ground baits again?
I'm not too sure. I've been messaging a few people actually in Spain about ground baits. I'd just be interested to see what I might be able to get some ground baits from over there.
I always remember I went to the World Champs a few years ago in Merida in Spain.
Yeah.
And I seem to remember the mix was called Giala, Census Giala 3000.
Giala?
Yeah,
Giala. Is that a species?
I think it was like their word for Carassio or something. Okay. And it was a real nice mix to be fair. A bit of food in it.
They use a bit of fish meal on the river we go to. Yeah, so last year I went over
now, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is everywhere. Last year I went over with, and I had some prototype of the F1 Sweet. So I thought, nice, bright, obviously the content, usually bright yellow mixes, tiny bit of fish meal content, really sweet, just what you want on the continent. And I caught a few fish on it, to be fair. But come the day of the race, it was just all about sticky makes. So I just need that plan B. I need that plan B of ground bait. So I think I'll take some F1 Sweet again and maybe some
Some like cereal mixes.
Yeah, something local maybe that they're all using.
Anyone else going? That was Jamie Harrison's going from
Jamie Harrison's
Catch
going.
Fishing Channel.
Phil Ringer.
Oh, it's Phil going.
Mark Eves. Little Mark Eves. Big Hitter. TP, Tommy's going.
Bloody hell.
Will Freeman.
Yeah. Kez going?
No, Lee's not going.
Oh.
So what we'll have is we'll have a table at night in the restaurant every night. So we'll
fine
have an
dining.
England flag.
Yeah.
We'll have an England flag stabbed in the middle of this table, and that'll be our English table for
I've
the
got to come on next year.
It'd be brilliant. It's a brilliant event. Absolutely brilliant event. Really well organised. Practice day, they do a paella for you. So all the anglers go and have a big, massive paella. Really nice. And then every single day, match day, practice day, they bring a packed lunch along for you, drink, something to eat.
It's a real
Really nice. You know, there's some money up for grabs as well. I think €3,000 for the winner, something like that.
Tell you what, it's
good fishing. Yeah, nice. San Miguel, you know, one of the favourites.
Perfect. So, one thing you did mention earlier, just put a new video on. Has it gone on yet?
It'll be
PVA
on, yeah,
fishing?
it'll probably be on when this goes out, actually.
Yeah.
PVA bag fishing.
Shot it here.
Shot it here. Caught some really nice fish. Something that I think you probably catch some bigger fish fishing that way.
It's a bit selective.
Because you're feeding hard baits.
Yeah.
A little parcel of hard bait. Chuck out straight lead. Little parcel of hard bait.
Carp fishing, isn't it?
It's especially in carp fishing, slightly scaled down. So
Yeah.
put a little video on my channel. Give it a search. Joe will probably put a link on somewhere. Yeah, nice little video. Yeah, caught plenty of fish. Really nice day.
Yeah.
Really nice day.
Brilliant.
So what are you doing then, Smokey? What's your next thing on the agenda?
So, next week, or was it the week after, we've got the Golden Rod final.
Yeah.
I'm not fishing, but my good man Macca is. Hopefully.
We tried, didn't we? We tried to qualify.
No, I didn't.
Didn't you?
No.
Well, I tried.
I just kept, anyway.
I tried and failed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's in it. Can't wait to go with him. He's so excited. Unbelievably excited.
So he's going to borrow a bit of your gear.
A bit of my gear. He's going to take my feeders, take some bait, and we're just going to try and chuck a method and hopefully get some couple of
Let
good
me tell you,
pegs.
there's some fish feeding at Lockford.
Yeah.
He sticks a good chance.
So we've got that. I'm going tomorrow with Steve Ringer to get featured for Match Fishing magazine as well. So I'm going to have a cheeky little practice for a couple of hours for him. But apart from that, it's that's about it really.
Superb. Right. Before we go, give us a tip. Give us a little tip. Because obviously you went the other day.
Yeah.
You did some filming.
Yeah.
So instead of you doing a separate video, I wanted to use that little bit of a tip video in this. Take it on to the end of this.
Right. So water's warming a little bit.
Yeah.
The fish are definitely nuzzling around for a bit of bait.
Yeah.
And I've had 2 brilliant sessions of beer on. Is it Hurricane Lake? Is it?
No, Hurricane's the first one. Tornado's the second one.
So, and it's all hard pellet fishing.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful fishing. So, what we're doing, it's 30-metre pole limit here, so I'm fishing long on the bottom.
Yeah.
Nothing special, but it's really simple tactics.
Okay.
Basically, I'm picking a really strong far bank marker. So I've got a far bank platform, something to line up.
Yeah.
And then I'm making sure my cupping kit's exactly the same length as my top kit.
Okay.
I know it sounds simple, but people miss
Yeah.
this.
No. Yeah.
And then while I'm doing, I'm literally putting in a dozen 6mm pellets. I just dip them in water. I've got some little holes in my pot, so the water runs off.
Holes, yeah.
And basically, I can cup them in. I actually sit on the pole, cup them in, so everything's right down a hole. The reason I dampen the pellets is so they all fall out in one go.
Yeah.
They all sink at the
rather
same
than
rate.
holding the surface tension and
Pellets are
drifting
right,
off.
they hold up. So that just gets them through the thing. And then it's basically a case of using a big heavy rig, 4x6 in a proper wire stem float.
Yeah.
Everyone's gone bendy wire mad and all that. I want a proper wire stem float.
That's just going to sit there.
It's just going to sit there and fish.
Yeah.
Bulk and 2 droppers, nothing fancy.
Yeah.
Harpoon.
So basically, it's all about accuracy.
It's about getting my pellet right in amongst that little pile, or as close as you can get it with a pole, and sitting and waiting. And today I'm waiting up to 2 minutes for a bite. Yeah. And it's just sitting there. You think you're not going to get one, you're not going to get one, and it just buries. Yeah. And it's such a good method. Penn Wright put me onto it.
So basically, you're setting your trap.
You're setting your trap just like you are with a feeder or a PVA bag, but you're doing it on a pole. And obviously with the pole you've got a chance to loose feed an odd pellet. Yeah. Because that is important. You've got to create a bit of an area to pull a few fish.
And that rattle on the water.
And then you've got your little pile on the bottom. Yeah. Your hook bait on the top.
So Mr. Clark comes along and goes, oh, pellet. It's not a case of moving a long way to pick up a pellet. It's pellet. Ooh, little pile of 5 or 6 pellets, bang, and you've got your hook bait.
And it's just absolutely deadly.
So you're banding a 6mm?
Just banding a 6mm on a little 18 hook, one of them GPMs.
No, so I'd probably have used a 16, but I've used an 18.
Yeah, it's just something I've got a lot of confidence
I know you like your small size.
Like 010, which I know a lot of people want. But yeah, 4x16 float has been perfect. And it couldn't get any easier.
No.
Odd pellet over the top of the catty. Every time you catch a fish, come back, feed with your big pot.
Right.
Just 10 pellets.
So basically, it's about feeding a bit of bait, but actually thinking about it. Because we're not at that time of year yet where you can just bladder bait everywhere.
Yeah, right? You can probably assume, can't you, when one comes in, he's probably had a bit of bait.
Yeah.
So you've got to set the trap again.
Yeah.
And sit there, nice and patient over the top.
Quite old school.
Old
carpet.
school,
Yeah.
and it's brilliant. A big strike.
Yeah.
It's really nice fishing.
Nice.
So yeah, that's my little springtime tip.
Nice. Superb. If you like any of the content in any of these videos, give it a like. Remember to comment. We want to get everyone's opinion. We want opinions. We want to talk to people about, what they're thinking. What's going on out there. And you never know. Obviously, we might give you a call, talk to you on the show. Until next time, thanks for watching. Really enjoyed it.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.